Okay, good morning class. To start our day, let us all stand and pray. So who can lead the prayer? Okay, thank you. So you may now all sit down. So first, let me take your attendance and then we'll proceed to our discussion. Okay, so for today's discussion, we'll be discussing about the soil and its properties. So who can give me some definition about soil? From your own words. What comes into your mind when you hear the word soil? Yes. Okay, thank you. That is correct. Or your answers are correct. Soil is very important for our lives, for human lives rather, because that is where we sow our crops for it to be able to grow so that we can have something to eat. Yes. So, soil has many properties. It can have physical, chemical, biological, and mineralogical properties. But for today's discussion, we'll be focusing on its physical properties. Okay? So first, what is soil? Soil is the loose surface material that covers most land. It consists of inorganic particles and organic matter. Soil provides the structural support to plants used in agriculture and is also their source of water and nutrients. So yes, tama nga yung mga sagot nyo na napaka-importante ng soil sa ating buhay. Lalo na sa ating mga pananim. Kasi dito sila kumukuha ng kanilang nutrients para sila ay tumubo. Soil vary greatly in their chemical and physical properties. Processes such as leaching, weathering, and microbial activity combines to make a whole range of different soil types. Each type has particular strengths and weaknesses for agricultural production. So yes, meron tayong napakaraming type of soils, diba? Hindi yan pare-parehas. Kasi nakikita naman natin sa kapaligiran natin, may maitim na kulay, may medyo dark brown, bright na brown, light brown, diba? Napakadaming types of soil at iba-iba din ang classifications nila at kung ano ang kanilang mga purposes sa ating mga pananim. So here, we have the soil properties. Soil properties are the physical characteristics of soils include all the aspects that you can see and touch, such as namely texture, color, density, structure, porosity, and consistency. So, ang soil properties daw is yung mga nakikita as well as yung na hahawakan natin which can see sa soil na kailangan natin i-familiarize. Okay? So, first we'll be discussing about the soil texture. Soil texture such as loam, sandy loam, or clay refers to the proportion of sand, silt, and clay size particles that make up the mineral fraction of the soil. So, for short, it is the fineness or coarseness of the soil. So here we can see the different types of soil, which is sandy, loamy, and clay, right? So, what is sand? Sand is a granular material composed of finely divided mineral particles. Sand has various compositions, but is defined by its grain size. Sand grains are smaller than the gravel and coarser than the silt. Okay? So, yung size ng particles or ng sand particles are nag-range between 2.0 mm to 0.05 mm. So, napakatino, hindi po ba? Nakikita naman natin. Sino na hindi yung nakakita ng sand, diba? Lahat tayo na siguro dahil pumunta tayo ng beach, diba? So, we can see na napakatino ng sand, hindi po ba? And, yung sand has a gritty feeling and does not stick together. So, pag kumuha ka ng isang dangkal ng sand, hindi mo siya makukuha ng buo, di ba? Kasi it tends to fall down. Kasi sa sobrang tino niya, hindi po ba? And the presence of sand increases the size of space between particles, which facilitates movement of air and water. Sa sobrang pino niya, hindi siya nagiging compact masyado, which the air and water can move freely, diba? May movement ng water and air sa sand particles. Okay? Next, what is clay? Clay is the soil that is comprised of very fine and mineral particles and not much organic material. The resulting soil is quite sticky since that is not much space between the mineral particles and it does not drain well at all. So, alam naman natin na yung clay is masyadong sticky. So, napaka-high yung water holding capacity nito. So, which, pag nabasa yung clay is matagal siyang maging dry kasi masyadong nag-hold yung water sa kanya. And the size of clay particles are very fine then and can range less than 0.002 millimeters. So, which is much smaller than the sun. Tulad nga nito, notice that the clay particles may be over 1,000 times. Napakalaki, di ba? Napakalaki yung range niya. Parang napaka-pino niya. Di ba? And it appears flaky, fit very close together. Diba? And stick together, difficult to break when dry. So, kapag nag-dry na siya, masyadong mahirap siyang pag-hiwalayin kasi napaka-sticky na kapag nababasa. Okay? Amount of clay in soil has a great influence in water holding capacity and are negatively charged in the tract tank nutrients. Yung clay naman, napaka-effective din niya sa ibang klase ng pananim na nangangailangan ng higher moisture content, diba? So, goods din naman if gagamit ka ng may clay na soil, okay? And then, here we have silt. Silt is a granular material of a size between sand and clay and composed mostly of broken grains of quartz. Silt may occur as a soil or a sediment mixed in suspension with water. Silt usually has a floury feel when dry and lacks plasticity when wet. And the size of silt particles range between 0.05 mm and 0.002. So, kung mag-range ka sa tatlong yon, malaki yung sand kaysa sa silt, pero mas malaki yung silt kaysa sa clay. Okay, it is a light and moisture-retentive soil type with a high fertility rate. So, parang dito, mostly ng soil na ginagamit na pananim is with silt. Okay? And very smooth and flour-like. So, kapag nag-dry and then you kumuha ka ng isang nangkal, parang kapares na din ang texture ng arena. Okay? Forms clots that crumble easily when wet. Water soaks in and moisture holds well. Soils with a large water holding capacity for plant growth are high in silt. So, mostly yung soil na ginagamit sa pananim is with high percentage of silt. Okay? So, here we have different types of soil. Okay? We have sand, loamy sand, clayey sand, sandy loam, fine sandy loam, light sandy clay loam, loam, fine sandy, and sandy clay loam, silt loam, clay loam, silty clay loam, fine sandy clay loam, and many more. So, yan, dito naman makikita natin is yung mga reaction or yung movement niya when we form a ball out of our hand. So, kunyari, katulad na lang dito sa light clay, plastic balls, smooth to touch, slight resistance to sharing between thumb and forefinger. Okay? Yes? And here we have the soil textural triangle. A soil texture triangle is used to classify the texture class of a soil. The sides of the soil texture triangle are scaled for the percentage of sand, silt, and clay. So here, magagamit natin to in soil profiling. May mga tendency na, or may mga commutations on how we can consider in this triangle. Okay? So here, next we have the soil color. Soil color gives an indication of the various processes going on in the soil as well as the type of minerals in the soil. So here, nakadepende daw sa kung ano ang nangyayari or nangyari sa soil na yun at sa kung anong mineral ang meron sa soil na yun. It depends on those things and sa kanilang mga kulay. So here we can see na merong iba't ibang kulay ang soil. Okay? An indirect measure of other important characteristics is water drainage, aeration, organic matter content. Colors are determined by matching the color of sample with color chips in a soil coloring book. So parang may pinagbabasehan tayo na table about dito sa color ng soil. So here, color is the foremost physical property that can be seen with the naked eye and is useful in interpretation of valuable insight into the soil environment. Thus, it can be very important in assessment and classification of soil. So, napaka-importante na alalahanin kung anong kulay ng soil at kung ano ang minerals na meron doon. So, here, the most influential colors in a well-drained soils are white, red, brown, and black. So here naman, white indicates the predominance of silica or quartz or the presence of salts. Like this one. So may mga presence siya ng salt mineral. So here, red indicates the accumulation of iron oxides. So here, we can see this red soil na meron daw na nag-indicate na accumulation of iron oxide. So here naman, lastly, brown and black indicate the level and type of organic matter. A color triangle can be used to show the names in relationship to influential colors. Okay? Ito, makikita natin is yung soil color and yun naman is yung indication or hat ng kada kulay. So here, dark brown, high organic matter content. So mostly, nakikita natin lupa is color brown or dark brown, right? So yan daw is may high organic matter content. So which is good kasi kailangan din naman ng soil na ma-preserve yung pagiging healthy nila, okay? And that is good. So here naman black or humus. Red, presence of iron. Phosphorus may be less available to the plant and free drainage. Here naman yellow, moist conditions, restricted drainage, less weathering, and lastly is gray, blue, or green hues, which indicates the poor drainage and water logging. So if gray na or nagdudu na daw po yung soil, is may tendency or indication na poor the drainage or water logging. So parang hindi na nakapag-infiltrate ng water masyado. Okay? So here we have soil structure. Structure is the arrangement of soil particles in pore spacing between. Soil with this structure beneficial to plant growth has a stable aggregates between 0.5 and 2 mm in diameter. Such soils have good aeration and drainage, influences soil by increasing the average size of pores in the soil, and structure is not permanent. So here we can see the different kinds of structure of the soil. Here we have granular, clayey, massive, blocky, and single drain. So here we have three different conditions. Diba? Kita dito. And first, it is considered as a good condition kasi soil dominated by friable, fine aggregates with no significant cladding. Aggregates are generally subgrounded, muddy, and often quite porous. Kita niyo naman, napakaganda. Mixed siya ng fine, blocky, and granular, right? Here naman is moderate condition. Soil contains significant proportions, 50% of both coarse clods and friable fine aggregates. The coarse clods are firm, subangular or angular in shape, and have few or no pores. So nakikita niyo yung difference dito with no pores talaga. Right? Para equally yung drainage niya. Diba? Here naman, may makikita ka mga pores, may mga spaces, right? And here naman, lastly, is the poor condition. Soil dominated by coarse clods with very few finer aggregates, which is this one, guys. And the coarse clods are very firm. Napakalaki and napakadami ng coarse clods. And angular or subangular in shape and have very few or no pores. Okay? Here naman are the different structures. Now, here we can have C, the granular, resembles 2 grams and is usually less than 0.5 centimeter in diameter. Commonly found in surface horizons where roots have been loaded. So, ito daw yung makikita natin mostly na sa mga maugat or sa may mga roots na nag-grow. So, here naman is black, irregular blacks that are usually 1.5 to 5 centimeter in diameter. So, medyo malalaki na itong tipak ng lupa. Diba? Here naman is prismatic, vertically columns of soil that might be a number of centimeter long, usually found in lower horizon. So, ito, masyadong makikita din naman natin yan sa mga parang irrigated na, non-irrigated na lupain. Diba? Yung parang nakikita mo yung parang may mga spaces na siya sa gitna at nakita mo pababa yung hanggang pababa yung So here we have just columnar. Parang gagaya din naman yun, pero mas malaki-laki ito. Okay, columnar vertical columns of soil that have a salt cup at the top, found in soils of arid climate. So here, we can have na parang pagalan siya. Okay, na parang may cup siya sa ibaba. Here naman, we have thin flat plates of soil that lie horizontally, usually found in compacted soil. So here we can see yung mga difference of its structure. May mga paganitong pahiga, patayo. And here naman is pahiga. Ito naman is bilog-bilog or kumpul-kumpul. At ito naman is yung pinaka-basic na structure, which is single-grained. Soil is broken into individual particles that do not stick together and always accompanies a loose consistency, commonly found in sandy soils. So, mostly yung single grain is for sands. Okay? So, we can see here na yung infiltration rate. So, kung kapag diniligan mo yung mga different types of structures, makikita mo yung flow ng water. Okay? So, here, sa single grain, rapid yung flow. Diba? Dito naman sa block, moderately slow. Kasi medyo, yes. Okay. Dito naman sa flat is slow to very slow. Kasi masyado walang mapaglulusutan yung tubig. Here naman sa granular, it's rapid to moderate. So it's charismatic, moderate to slow. In which yung massive is very slow. Kasi wala nga kung kapag pupuntahan o matadaluyan yung tubig. So here we have soil consistency. Soil consistency is the strength with which soil materials are held together or the resistance of soils to deformation and rupture. Soil consistency is measured of wet, moist, and dry samples. So basically, how well does it stick together? That is the best definition for the soil consistency. Yung consistency, di ba kasi, if gaano siya kumakapit, di ba? If kaganan sa image na to, masyado ba siyang matubig, malapot, tama lang ba yung thickness niya or yung pag-hold na, di ba? That's what you call about the soil consistency. Next is the soil porosity. The spaces occupied by air and water between particles in a given volume of soil are called pore spaces. And porosity of the soil increases with the increase in the percentage of organic matter in the soil. So texture, structure, and compaction affects the amount of pore spaces. Porosity decreases as the soil particles become much smaller in their dimensions because of decrease in pore spaces, while porosity of the soil increases with the increase in the percentage of organic matter in the soil. Next is the soil density. Bulk density is the weight of soil or unit volume of soil, including pore space. So bulk density is an indicator of soil compaction and soil health. It affects infiltration, rooting, depth, or restrictions, available water capacity, soil porosity, plant nutrient availability, and soil microorganisms activity, which influence key soil processes and productivity. So here we can see na yung label na is, itong mga kulay na to is yung soil particles, and this one is yung water, and this one naman is yung air. So yung mga spaces nandyan is what you call air, and yung mga blue is yung water. And kakikita nyo naman sa pag-hold ng water sa soil particles. Hindi po ba? So, in our generalize our discussion, the physical properties of the soil are very important for agricultural production. Yes, and the sustainable use of the soil, because the amount and rate of water, oxygen, and nutrient absorption by plants depends on the ability of the roots to absorb the soil solution, as well as the ability of the soil to supply to the roots. So, napaka-importante po ng pag-identify o pag-aalam ng kung ano ang narapat na soil na ang gagamitin sa iba't ibang pananim. Kasi po, may iba-iba pong minerals and holding capacity or moisture content na kinakailangan ang iba-ibang plants. So, nakadepende din po sa kung anong soil ang gagamitin. Okay? So, before we proceed, let me show you a video presentation about the soil profiling, and after the video, you'll be proceeding to our class activity that will be submitted after you've done the activity. So please listen carefully and attentively, because the video will be your guide to your activity. Okay? So I do hope that you have learned something from our discussion in today's lesson, because remember, class, that this lesson will not only help you to gain learnings about the soil, but especially can help you to choose the right kind of soil, preferably to the crops that you choose to sow. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed class this morning.